Welcome back to Screepy, the YouTube channel where we read scary creepypastas. Today's candidate, a story called Bart episode. This sounds very scary. Let's get into it.
I've been watching The Simpsons since I was 3 years old. These characters hold a very special place in my heart. Especially Bart, the mischievous little boy. As a boy, I related to Bart on a very personal level. My favorite episode was always E My Sports, in which Bart became a gamer. As a gamer, this made me relate to Bart even more. It even inspired me to beat every Simpsons video game in the span of 2 weeks.
Eventually, I managed to watch every Simpsons episode. It was totally worth it because I got caught up with all the Simpsons lore. So when I saw a tape titled Bart episode at a yard sale in a small town where I was visiting family, I had to buy it. I was ecstatic, but I did think it was a bit weird because I thought I had watched every episode already. Not only that, it was just called Bart episode. WTF. To my surprise, I was offered the tape for free. When I got home, I put the tape on and waited in anticipation for the funny Bart.
The intro played as usual, but something was a bit off. The intro would occasionally glitch, skipping forward or backward for a few frames. I didn't think much of it. I just assumed the tape was a bit dusty or something. Sometimes the colors would change or become grayscale for a few frames, but it wasn't too noticeable. The only really out of place part was some strange muffled noises. The voice sounded like it came from a person, but even that was hard to hear over the sound of the intro. So overall, the intro was pretty normal. Unfortunately, that could not be said about the rest of the episode.
The episode started with the Simpson family sitting at the dinner table. Strangely, none of them were eating. I assumed there was a punchline to the fact that they weren't eating, but it never came. They just sat there. Eventually, Homer said, "I have to go to work," to which Marge responded, "Homie, this is the third time this week." I chuckled, not at the actual joke, but at how absurd of a statement it was. Homer just got up and walked out of the dining room, not even saying any goofy jokes in return.
Lisa went upstairs to practice clarinet, and Marge took Maggie outside. That left Bart sitting at the table alone. He had hyper-realistic bloodshot eyes. I felt as though if I was to touch the screen, I'd get real blood on my hands. Too afraid to try this, I continued to watch the episode while clutching my Bart plushie.
The scene cut to Lisa practicing the trombone. Bart walked into the doorway and stared with those spooky eyes. Lisa stopped practicing to ask what he was doing, to which Bart continued staring. Lisa just ignored him and went back to playing the tuba. It cut back to the doorway, but Bart was gone. Then the video cuts to static.
At this point, I was on the verge of vomiting. I had to take out the tape, so I hid it under my bed and didn't touch it for about a month. Eventually, I completely forgot about it. That is until one day when I saw a Bart Simpson t-shirt at Hot Topic. The memories of the tape came flooding back, and I suddenly felt the urge to re-watch it.
When I got home, I found the tape under my bed and put it on my TV, expecting the same video. But this time, I was met by a much different sight. It started the same way, with the Simpsons family at the dinner table. But this time, Lisa was missing. Her chair was completely empty. I looked at Bart and his mischievous little grin, and I knew he was responsible. Homer said, "I have to go to work," to which Marge responded, "Homie, this is the fourth time this week." This freaked me out because I clearly remembered Marge saying it was the third time this week.
But instead of walking away, Homer just disappeared. It cut back to Bart, who was staring right at the screen with his very scary red eyes. Bart was holding a knife, drenched in yellow blood, as the Simpsons have yellow blood. It cut back to Marge, who was now crying. The sight of my favorite cartoon mom crying made me vomit all over the floor. Even more disturbing was Bart, who was now putting Maggie in a blender. Marge screamed for Homer, who came running back in the room to punch Bart in his stupid yellow face.
Bart exclaimed, "Ay caramba," and flew into a wall, seemingly dead. This made me scream and puke all over the floor again. Sitting in a pile of puke, crying, I reached for the tape and tried to take it out, to which it remained stuck in the TV, and I watched in horror as Bart stood up and stared at the screen, exclaiming, "March 23rd, 2022, and my IP address." It's currently March 22, so if I don't update this post, you know why.
To this day, there hasn't been an update to this story. We can only assume the creator was killed by Bart, so rest in peace to user Slip and Slide, and remember to stay Screepy.